Grand Rising, guys. Grand Rising. I hope all is well on this beautiful Sunday rising. And it's an amazing day. It's always an amazing day. Everything is everything every day. You know what I mean? It's all what we make it. But I have a question. Not even really a question, just kind of like a topic of conversation. So, you remember, ladies, um, the sex we used to have? It was very one-sided in a way. And it was really because we didn't know our true divine feminine and what we needed from a sexual experience. And then as you get older, and I hear this a lot, as you get older, the sex or the intimacy with your partner slowly starts to decline and decrease. And I truly believe that it is something that women need to step into. And we need to understand that we are sexual beings. But we need something different than what we used to receive. And it's really, it's a sad thing, really. It's because society has kind of, I hate to use the word programmed, but programmed us to believe what it actually is and what we're supposed to be doing and why we're supposed to be doing it. And then as you begin to walk in your divine nature and you realize that you need something more and something different. Like, are we having conversations like that with our partner, or are we just cutting those moments off because we are expecting something from them? We are expecting for them to know, but we don't share it with them, or we don't talk about it, or maybe we don't even really know that there are levels to this, and there are levels to experiencing our true selves. Intimate moments and sex are not the same for a woman as they are for a girl or a young girl, or and I'm not saying, you know what I mean. I mean, mindset wise, right? You step into this womanhood and you decide that you want more and you need more, and that the animalistic ways in which we were programmed to think that sex was, they give us so many different I don't know if the word is stereotype or what the actual word is, that but it's like porn and things like that. You never really, it's so mind-boggling to me, because I used to partake in all those things. I used to watch porn and I used to think, well, why is it's so animalistic? And as a goddess, that is really one-sided, Some people use men mostly use it as a form of power. So they're not really even understanding the power of their seed. And so I remember this one day when I first came around with semen retention idea, and I was like, so what do you think about this? And he says to me, so you're asking me to hold my seed? And I say, yes. And he says, oh, okay. And I say, but not only for me. I don't want you to only hold your seed for me. I want you to hold your seed for you. Because releasing that energy is so, not releasing that energy is very beneficial for you. Do you know how many minerals and how much energy it takes for a man to release that seed? And he's like, no, never really. I mean, I know I'm exhausted afterwards, and I'm like, yeah, you know. But what if there would be a way where we could be extremely intimate and share these extremely intimate moments? And no, I'm not saying that we don't have sex. I'm simply saying, like, what if we practiced? What if we made a practice to hold that seed as long as possible? And then wouldn't that last longer? And then wouldn't you not be exhausted afterward? And then it could be like an all-day affair. like we could have, you know, like we could, instead of it having to build itself back up, it could be always there. And he was like, well, this is new to me. And I'm like, yeah, right? Because as a young guy, you're not even thinking about how powerful that seed is. As a young boy, because of the program, you've kind of just thought that it was something that you should do. Like, you know, it's been taught to young guys that the more that they release that seed, that the more cool or whatever they become. And it's so opposite. The truth is so truly opposite of that. And so I was basically, this talk is just, our life has completely changed since I brought up this topic. Completely changed since I brought up this topic, because it planted a seed in his mind, and he's like, geez, I'm releasing this, and then it's over, and it doesn't ever have to really be over. And so I would have only known this. I only know this because I stepped into this goddess body, this woman body, and I know what I need. So I know what I need, and I share it with my partner, and he's open to the idea that, wait, you want to have intimacy like a goddess? Shit. Okay, like, never really had goddess sex before, but I'm up and open to it. And then he got to step into his power like a god, you know? And man, it really takes a special place. You really have to have a confidence inside of you as a woman to say, I think that there may be other avenues that we should explore, instead of what I always just kind of heard happens, you know? Women just kind of get tired, they lose their spunk, and, you know, and I didn't want to lose that spunk. I didn't want to lose that newness, because as the relationship grows and blossoms and whatnot, I didn't want it to be the same as what I had always heard it to become. I mean, I know that there are, you know, older couples that are still very much vibrant in their sexual life. And maybe they've had that conversation, and that is very intriguing to me. Like, as a woman, we need to have those conversations, and we need to say to ourselves, what do we now require as this woman that we may have not required as a younger girl or a younger female? And I watched a great video with Brother Crumb yesterday, and he was kind of breaking down the alpha and the beta of men and how that is all in correlation with women and women knowing their bodies. And then the video was actually something that I really wanted Shelby to watch with me, because they were talking about sex, and so I felt like she needed to get a man's perspective on what a real man is out there looking for, compared to what maybe she's hearing in school about boys, you know? And I wanted her to understand that a real man does not want a woman who is out frolicking with other boys, a lot of boys, because when a woman knows how powerful she is, she's not going to just give that power to just anybody. Heck no. Like, shit. This is a divine body. This is a goddess body. This is some powerful stuff. And I don't think you're ready for that. Oh, I'm ready for that. I can, That's that boy mentality of, oh, you don't think I'm ready for that? I could definitely take on that. For 15 minutes or what? Like, what are you gonna do with this goddess body? Can you hold your seed? Can you even fathom the idea of holding your seed if a woman presents that to you? A woman, not a girl, because a girl doesn't even know what she doesn't even know what she wants to eat, you know? When Mike asks me what I want to eat, I'm like, well, I know exactly what I want to eat. I know exactly what I want to do. I know exactly where I want to go. I know exactly, because I know myself. And so that holds power. And so a God wants to have the experience with a goddess that knows her own body and her true nature and her true self, and what does she want, and what do you want out of this experience? We have come so far in the Michael and I, because we've had these conversations, and I said, I was always just doing these things, like going through the motions. As a girl, I still had that girl mentality, but I don't have that girl mentality anymore. And I don't want to cut you off because we don't have these conversations. So let's grow together. Are you interested in growing together? Yeah, I am. I'm interested in growing with you. Absolutely, I am. And so I'm just sitting here because I get to reflect on the growth in which I've had with my partner, because I had the balls to say something. I had the balls to say, I don't really want to do that type of thing anymore. It no longer serves me. I want to have intimacy like a goddess. And now he wants to have intimate moments with a goddess as well. He's like, yeah, that goddess shit is good. That's real good. I'm all for it. That's really all I got. I just wanted to say that, as women, we really need to figure out who we are and what we want. And I feel like it's better for me to know these things and figure these things out, because now I can share them with my daughters. And now they can understand that I don't have to come to them in a place of, no, you don't want to have sex because it's wrong or it's bad or it's a sin or whatever. It's like nature is out there doing it. But do you know that, like, the males, Crumb said this as well. So this was something very enlightening to me, that 90, I don't remember the actual percentage in which he used, and so I might be a little off with this. But it's like 90% of women are having sex with like 10% of men. And it's because the other 90%, that 10% are actually men. And the rest are just looking for some type of animalistic behavior in which they were brought up to believe is the right way to go. And so how many women are not being satisfied in a way? And I'm not just talking about physically. I'm talking about mind, body, and spirit. I'm talking about a full-on connection and electric charge and energy in which it's exchanged, because sex is a sacred exchange of energies. And so when a young girl can understand that I am not just going around and exchanging my energy with any random, that's so powerful, because my daughters I get to change the way in which I was taught. I was just taught, no, you don't want to do it. And really it was because, I grew up in this religion where I was taught that it was a sin and that's why I didn't want to do it. But then nature was doing it, and we had these feelings and we didn't understand them. But then we had to fight these urges because we didn't understand why we were having them, and they were taught we were wrong. And then we were being hard on ourselves because we're not supposed to be having these feelings, and they were never taught correctly. I get to teach my daughters correctly that these urges will come. But you don't allow your body to become some type of dumping ground for somebody else who doesn't understand what they are doing. And it's unfortunate. But if you're a goddess, he needs to step his game up. I mean, sis, this is some powerful stuff. And I would have only been able to share this with my daughters if I would have, since I've understand it, I had to come to the understanding and the overstanding, not just the understanding of it. I know that I'm speaking to some people here who know exactly what I mean. I know that there are women out there, goddesses out there who are like, sis, yes, sis. And there are some who are like, yeah, I wish I could have this conversation with my partner because I miss it. I miss the connection. But I no longer want to do it in that way. You're going to have to speak up. You're going to have to find your voice. Maybe over dinner, Maybe light some candles and approach it that way. I'm very fortunate that I can just approach any conversation in the kind of way. And he's like, really? Okay, yeah, what you want to talk about? Yeah, let's go for it. And then when I say sex, I know that I felt that he was like, oh, is there something wrong? And I'm like, no. But there's something that could be really, 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 really right. Like, you want to try? Yeah. Semen retention? Yeah, I want to try. I mean, it's odd to me. Surely I've never heard this conversation. I've never had this conversation before. I've never even heard this topic before. But I'm open to it. That energy, that inner chi. Bringing that energy up, getting the stimulation, getting all of the great feelings, and then keeping it and holding it and not releasing it. So it stays. So all that energy that I just built up stays. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. That's all I got. I hope everybody has a great day. I'm going to go and get some potting soil today because I have some plants that I want to plant. And I'm really going to start this garden. I'm going to start this garden because I have a greenhouse and stuff being built. My man saved all that energy from our experiences. He built that up and now he's like building shit instead of taking a nap. Okay, I see you. So my feminine is going to go buy the plants to put in the building that his masculine is building. And I had to figure out who I was first. I would have never been able to be on this journey without figuring out who I was first. And I know who I am. And I'm a goddess, babe. I'm a goddess. Have a great day. I hope I find all of you in complete wholeness. And if you're not there yet, your time is now. It's now.